Pittsburgh Steeler fans, we are back in anticipation of the Steelers' next draft pick of the 2020 draft. I don't know why I'm talking first. I should let the true DJ MC Golden Larynx of Bryan Anthony Davis take over.
Wow, that's the nicest thing anybody said to me this week. Golden Larynx. I love it.
Yeah, so how you doing, Bryan?
I tell you what, this has been fast and furious. The stupid Ravens keep making trades and have 17,000 picks and keep on getting names that I've heard of, which makes me even angrier. So, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, with trying to do stuff with the site and looking at all this stuff on the oh man, I'm going to analyze that pick and it's just going completely crazy. But this is a great draft. It's the deepest, and I love a draft when you can keep going the whole way through and you're like, I recognize that name. I recognize that name.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen up. The pick, I'm not sure who made the pick, but I'm pretty sure the Appalachian State running back just went. And I just lost to Bryan Anthony Davis. So I'm sure he will be coming back here at some point because he probably clicked off of something that he didn't mean to, but that's okay. We'll get Bryan back here when we can. But for now, we're going to say. So if someone can help me out in the live chat with that pick, because I'm trying to listen to both the television while I'm talking, when Bryan's talking and everything else, that it was the Appalachian State running back and just went somewhere.
To Tennessee.
And he's back.
I was looking around. I heard you talking. I'm like, oh, I pressed something. So, so he went to Tennessee. That's a nice player.
Yeah, I only went up through the top 80 picks of what I had on a piece of paper that I was crossing off. So there's been a lot of people that aren't on that list anymore. But there's still some people on this list, and I'm afraid I might have missed one here or there. Like, I wrote down where they went, but I didn't cross off a couple people. Like Terrell Lewis, that's a guy I wouldn't have minded the Steelers having. Big injury history, lots of upside, lots of risk. So let's bring it up. Ryan O'Toole wants to know. Let's see if Bryan has an answer here. Who are you thinking the Steelers looking for?
So I'm thinking, this was my number one pick. Well, my number two pick for the Steelers. I'm thinking Bradley and I might be there from Utah, the linebacker. I mean, we are talking 8 picks away. So that's your edge rusher that you've been looking for. Everybody, like the guys like Greenard, they're gone. The other edge you just mentioned, Terrell Lewis.
Yep.
Those guys aren't here. If you want somebody that they've scouted and they've looked at and they've talked to, I think that's a pretty good idea. You're really not looking for anything else as far as skill position here. I really don't think you're looking at a running back at this point.
No, I mean, the only one that I knew that they might have had on their radar was the one from Utah who already went to the Bills at 86.
Zach Moss, loved him.
The Green Bay Packers just selected a tight end out of Cincinnati. I didn't catch the name. I didn't know the name. So what's interesting with this pick is before Eric Ebron, this was my Adam Troutman pick, the tight end out of Dayton. I wanted him here. Now we have Eric Ebron. Don't want him here. Nightwolf was asking about third rounders. No, we have 2 fourth rounders. We traded our third rounder, our original, for Devin Bush last year. That was part of what we traded with that trade. So what we are going to be drafting here, assuming the Steelers make a pick at 102, we are going to be drafting the compensatory pick for one Mr. Butt Naked Get Robbed. So this will be the compensatory chain that I like to do. Because if you all recall, last year I linked who was it? Kieran Fox all the way to James Conner.
I remember. You doing that
because of Fox, we got a comp pick for Kelvin Beachum. Because of Beachum, we got the pick for Conner. So it was kind of crazy. So some people that I have out there that I wouldn't mind. There's some offensive linemen out there.
There are.
So, yeah,
there definitely are. And one that and I can never pronounce his name. Biadasz.
Yeah, that's who I made for my pick with Lance and Jeff earlier tonight. Tyler, some people say, because it almost sounds like you're saying something else. Biadasz might be it. I'm not sure.
I think it's Biadasz.
Biadasz, that makes sense. He dropped at a lot of people because he didn't test well. He was originally a top 50 guy until the combine.
Yes.
So some people say BA Dish. I don't know. I'm okay with Anye. That would be a good pick. How about this one? I had this one in one mock draft. How about Prince Tiga Wananogo?
Ooh, yeah. Prince.
The tackle from Georgia, correct?
He is out of Auburn, if I'm not
Might be
mistaken.
Auburn.
Yes.
Yeah. One of those Southern schools.
I like Solomon Kindley as well.
TCU. I'm like, that's not right.
I also like Solomon Kindley out of Georgia. He's the guard out of Georgia.
There's another one.
But I like Prince. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to be my offensive line.
You're just going to keep singing. I'm going to talk.
I had to get the offensive line joke out.
Hey, that's great. I hope we're coming through good with our audio. I know we had some struggles earlier tonight. It sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, it seems clear on this side. Maybe the fact that it was 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that might have been it. But man, I tell you what, last night was so frustrating for me because we did not realize it that through our streaming service that the more people we added, it was going to add some lag time. And the later people that we added, they lagged. So because I came out to do the mask and then came back in, I was lagging. Tony was lagging. Our guests were lagging. It was tough. I had so much good stuff last night, Brian. I mean, I was going to set it up to where my brother, who is in the live chat.
Yeah, I saw him say hello.
I was going to do various questions of the night. Everyone was going to have to give a quick little answer. And then the live chat was going to vote on a story. Who was going to tell the story? I was going to do like your first Steeler game you went to in person. Everyone would say which game you went to. The live chat would decide who tells the story. I had a perfect one. I was going to set my brother up because I was going to say, all right, what's the worst thing you've ever done to a sibling?
Oh.
And in order to force my brother to tell the story about how he got me struck by lightning.
Holy, I almost swore. Holy,
I have a feeling that's going to have to come out now on Stat Geek on Tuesday.
Yeah, I need to be around for that. And remember, I've never been invited to Stat Geek, but I tell you what.
Hey, after this weekend, you're going to need as much time off as you can get.
If you've been struck by lightning, that's a story you've got to share.
And listen to this. This is what my brother answers. I was catching fish in that exact spot today. Because it was at a lake. You tune in Tuesday. I'm gonna make him tell that story. So
Nightwolf wants to trade his ex-wife, by the way, for a compensatory pick.
Who what's that?
Nightwolf wants to know if he could trade his ex-wife for a compensatory pick. I have a starter wife from 99 to 2002. Really, that was a bust of a draft pick there.
The bust of a draft pick. Yeah, I think we all might have one of them in our past, whether it was a wife or significant other or one of those things. I have not heard any picks since the Green Bay's tight end.
Kelvin Agim just went to the Broncos. So, I've got some names. You were asking about names?
Yeah.
So, Ben Barch from St. John's in Minnesota, offensive lineman. He's 6'6", 309. You also have Matt Peart. I had him a lot higher from Connecticut. So, there's really some nice offensive line guys here. I'd go with Prince, though. I would go with your guy, Prince Tego Wanago.
Here comes pick 96. The Chiefs take Lucas Neon, tackle from TCU.
Neon. I like that name. Neon.
I don't have him. What about, there's also like Curtis Weaver from Boise State, the edge rusher. There's another one that's up there. I like Anye better, in my opinion. Although he's not even on my list.
He has got a mean streak. I like the fact that, he can get into the backfield. He's got a mean streak. I would probably go with him because I like the edge rusher, but it's just what you want to decide that you want at this point.
Yeah.
I think I would go Anai first because you can get one of these offensive linemen in the 4th round.
Well, here's what we got to look. The Steelers had the 49th pick. We had to wait 48 picks for them.
Yeah.
Then they have 102. It's longer from their last pick until this pick. Have been more picks in between. But then they go from 102 to 124. Okay, so you only got 22 picks there to 135.
Yeah.
Only 11 picks later there.
And that
But
goes
then you've
fast.
got no fifth round pick. So then you got a long wait there until you get to 6 and 7. So there's a lot of different stuff there. Have you seen Ryan Kellerman in the live chat at all tonight? If anybody knows Ryan Kellerman, we need to check in on him because I'm very concerned about him. He was the one I told him he should get more life insurance because he said if the Steelers didn't get Dobbins, he was going to jump off of a bridge. Now, I thought he might go stand on the ledge when they had a chance to draft Dobbins and they didn't. But then seeing him go to that purple team, I'm afraid we lost him. So I really hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, I don't want to make a joke about that. Yeah, but that's scary.
But my thing is, I've said it so many times, don't fall in love with a specific player. When they put on one of those other colors, then you got to hate them. You went from being absolutely in love with them to a hater or to having to hate them. I got another pick coming, 97 pick. Cleveland Browns. Jacob Phillips, linebacker. Does that say LSU? Yeah, LSU.
Everybody's from LSU. If it's in doubt, you say Alabama or LSU, and you're in good shape.
I have another LSU guy on my list that I don't have marked off unless I missed him. Has Sadiq Charles, the tackle from LSU, been drafted?
From what I know, no. He's still around too.
Okay.
So there is some great value in the fourth with linemen. As far as safeties go, there was one that I was looking at, and I can't seem to find him now, but there is a safety out there too that I would possibly look at. And I'm not talking about the kid from Clemson, the safety linebacker Muse.
Because I think they can get him later.
Yeah, you don't want to get him this early.
No.
He's
a lot of places
fall in love with him
that
that much.
They don't have that's what's going to be weird for the Steelers is that last fourth round pick, that 135 pick, because it's going from 135 to what's the other one? Like is it 190 something? Like one, I've got to remember what that sixth round pick is. When you've got that many selections in there, yeah, it's 198. When you go from 135 to 198, you've got to think about guys that might be a bit of a reach at 135, but they're not going to be around at 198.
Yeah, and that's something we were talking about with Golden. Remember when we were talking about Golden. Now you don't need to look at Golden.
They don't need that. Honestly, I never had Chase Claypool in any of my mock drafts because according to the one I was doing, it was a little bit of a reach in round 2. No chance of him ever being there in round 3. So, but like I said, if the Steelers are going to take a player that you don't know if he should have gone right there or not, if it's a wide receiver, that's what I have the most trust in out of anything.
Not only that, and we learned this, and I'm not making a joke with you. We learned this last year with Deontay Johnson. They knew what was behind them. They knew Bruce Arians was lurking for Deontay Johnson. So obviously there were people lurking. In fact, a team that was lurking on Chase Claypool was the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. A lot of people had in one of their second round picks going to Baltimore. The more that I look at this pick, I don't know what happened on the last show because I didn't have a chance to watch the last show.
Yeah, you were working hard.
But what's the reaction? Because I love this guy.
Everyone it's night or it's hot or cold. It's a lot of hot or cold, a lot of love, a lot of like, oh, they could have got him in their next pick. No, there was no chance they were going to get him with their next pick.
No, but not giving 50 away. But you don't make a 50 unless you're the Seahawks. You don't make a 50 team mistake.
I really, really wish that I could remember who sent me an email weeks ago, long time ago. I had someone email me saying, what do you think of Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame? There's a lot of people on the site that were high on Chase Claypool.
Yeah, a lot of them love
him. A lot of people. I haven't even checked the article because I was waiting for both picks. I know a lot of people put him as who the Steelers took. Now, some of them might have put him as their second pick and not their first pick. So I'm going to have to go back and check that, in our contest. But the person that emailed me said the thing that's interesting about Claypool is he could be a tight end. They're like, by taking him, you have someone that could be a wide receiver or a tight end. But like we say, if you can do two things, or do you do any one thing really well? My thing is, if you get in trouble and they have a lot of injuries at the tight end position, that's someone who could help out, if you know what I mean.
Or do you trade Vance McDonald?
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to deal him? Are they on the clock
Malik
again?
Harrison, linebacker, Ohio State.
He's a nice player. I forgot
Harrison,
about Malik.
Linebacker, Ohio State, was just taken by the Ravens at 90-something. I think it was 90, 97, 98, one of those. So, but
you know what? They're going to have to pay these guys. I mean, how are they going to? I mean, they're bringing all these guys in. I mean, they can't keep all the. I mean, these other picks they bring in, they're going to be on other teams. I don't understand having a 14-team draft, a 14-player draft.
Yeah, that's crazy. But so, Bryan, what do you think we're not going to see?
Well, I definitely, and I talked about this earlier, running back is gone.
I think so too.
So
but I've said that from the beginning.
Fall in love with your running backs now. You know, I was seduced. I was drinking the Dobbins Kool-Aid because I mean,
people
big name.
Me too, man. I'm like, if he's there and they take him, I'm not going to be upset. But
I made that comment.
I try to tell people running back is not the need you think it is.
No,
well, not in the Steelers' mind, because the room is really crowded with guys that got carries last year. You might not have liked how well they did, but I'm sorry, but with no Ben Roethlisberger and 10 guys on the freaking line of scrimmage saying you must beat us with the pass, you will not run on us.
Look at what Benny Snell Jr. could do. And I'm not saying he's the answer, so lay off me when I bring this up. But, you know, Benny Snell Jr. with no quarterback still had some very good games.
Saying, but Lance is insisting that that's not the way it is. I'm like, you can't make a decision on Benny Snell Jr. based on last year.
No, so, I mean, you know, you have to give these guys a chance to play with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
if he's going to play, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to change the narrative.
99. We have
so we're coming up the Giants.
The Giants.
They're
Matt Peart.
See, that's the guy I was just talking about from UConn.
Yep. He was number 65 on my board. Did I say that was 99? Yeah, that was 99. That was the Giants. So
you're going to get away with even more if we put
13,
Claypool in the mix.
Yeah. Yeah. And like people were saying in the live chat, we had over 400 people in the live chat with the reaction show. And it was, you know, Ben's back. Ben's going to sling it. Ben's not going to hand the ball off all that much. Why not give him guys to catch it rather than guys to run it?
But is what some people have guys. I mean, I hate to break it to any of you. Connor can play when he's healthy.
Yeah.
I know everyone's like, well, he's never healthy, but you're going to get at least 10 games out of him. And if Benny Snell's spelling him and you're able to plug him in, then there you go. But with these receivers, I think this is an explosive, even more explosive offense. You're adding Ebron on there too.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, I've said this for a long time, and I'm like, you know what? I should just stop. Do I revel in being right? I don't want to just be right. I want to see the Steelers draft well. But I've been saying that I believe that the Steelers do not see the need at quarterback and running back that so many other people were talking about them needing. Because you have Ben Roethlisberger, you know, not having a first-round pick. Are you really going to upgrade your quarterback room this year? Or let's just say, is it going to be enough of an upgrade to be worth the draft capital? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers have made one pick so far, and it's almost midnight of the second day of the draft. And if you were to tell me that one pick was a quarterback, that would be crazy. Here comes pick a number. Pick 100. So, it's funny. Lance says doesn't mean they're right. I trust the Steelers way more than you, Lance. No offense. They just took Tanner Muse at pick 100.
You're kidding me. The Raiders.
Tanner Muse took Muse at 100. When
And
I
you know
had
what?
him going at 198 to the Steelers in almost every mock draft I had,
Wow.
and was
The
worried that I
Raiders.
was
I've got a buddy. Well,
reaching there.
so you remember Nick Bellino, who's been on the show
Oh,
a
yeah.
few times.
Yep.
And he calls me up today and says, "Hey, let me ask you a question." And he has that West Virginia accent. He goes, and he calls me Bad. He goes, "Bad, let me ask you a question. What's it like to be a fan of a franchise that you're not worried about embarrassing you on draft night all the time?" He's like, we've got a guy wearing an Old Spice robe, and then I don't know what's going on with that 24-year-old from Ohio State. So just tell me what it's like so I can
That
feel
was
it.
a stretch, I thought.
Yeah. So
And then here's this one. Here's a guy that a lot of people had in the 6th round going at the end of the 3rd.
yeah,
But I mean, I think he's going to be a good player. But maybe maybe they thought the Steelers were going to take him. I don't know.
he had a 6th round grade for a reason though. So with the Steelers coming up, I mean, really soon because we're flying through. I'm still saying Bradley and I.
Well, because here's the question. We've talked about Tyler Badass, we can't say. Is he a guy that could be there with their next pick?
Possibly. I mean,
like
I said, I like Solomon Kindley. Oh, the Patriots are
just moved up to
now the Patriots. Yeah, and the Patriots are not going to take a nine. I'll tell you that. They're more likely to take an offensive
because they already took
here.
Uche.
Yeah, Uche.
So honestly,
and they took another one. They took another defensive. Edge rusher.
Yeah. All right. I should be updating things on Twitter because the Steelers stuff is probably going to be coming very soon. So,
you could get Prince, Tyler. You can get these guys in the 4th round. Solomon Kindley,
I'll be honest with
like
you,
a lot.
the highest player on the SB Nation board is number 47, Prince Tiga Waganaho, or however you say it, at 47. So to me, if they took him, that would be value. But I'm not sold that tackle is the answer. If they draft a tackle, Matt Filer is a guard.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
And
maybe
Luke
might play tackle for another year if we need if he's not ready. But Matt Filer will be guard.
Here's another guy, Lucas Nying, out of TCU.
That's another guy.
So there right now, you've got tons of offensive linemen that you can get in the 4th.
Yep.
I'm sold on Anai. Really not with the. I actually had him in the 3rd round in another draft. I think in the draft I published last week, I had him going in the 3rd round. So if you can get that guy in the 3rd round instead of the 2nd, a lot of people were talking about him in the 2nd, then you're pretty good. Burgess, Aqua Noob, thank you. Burgess was the guy at safety that I was thinking of, who's still around.
Yeah. Lance says that on Dane Brugler's board, Prince was 86. So in other words, he would be someone there. So that's.
And if you'd like to know this, in 1986, on this date, Prince had the #1 song in the USA called Kiss.
So, hey, since it's on commercial and we don't have the Patriots pick, well, it just said the Steelers on the clock from Dale Lawley, which I did not see what the Patriots pick here with the Patriots.
I saw them party, and it was a tight end again.
See, once again, I got somebody reporting it, but I don't know if it's who they think or who it is.
I think it's Troutman.
I have that it's Highsmith, the outside linebacker from Charlotte.
Yeah, okay.
He was
another outside linebacker?
For the Steelers.
Oh, for the Steelers. They like him better than Anai, maybe.
So I don't know if that's like I say, when you first see it on Twitter, you don't know if is that the real pick or is that someone's guess. So I'm waiting to hear it from a actual Pittsburgh beat reporter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I told people be ready for a linebacker early, meaning on day 2, either inside or outside. So we'll see if that's what it is or not.
And so Joel Coleman is saying that Highsmith is a player that they're really high on.
Well, Jeff just said Highsmith. He just texted out as BTS Steelers. So
All right.
I thought it would have been Anye, but Anye wasn't on my list. I don't know. I mean, so.
But you know what?
Let's just say,
I like the position
which could
here.
be someone who this is a replace. If they take an outside linebacker, like I said, this is replacing Anthony Chickillo. Are you sure it's Ola? Are you sure it's Skipper? These guys don't have the pedigree. They're both undrafted free agents. Skipper has 0 snaps with the Steelers, 40 with the Giants. Ola has 71 snaps in 2 years. Hold on. Here comes the Patriots pick, which is and the Patriots are taking. They take Dalton Keene, tight end from Virginia Tech.
Another tight end.
So, wow. But people like Dale Lawley and everything are saying Highsmith, 14 sacks last season at Charlotte.
Wow. And here's the other thing.
Like I said, he would be the guy that would be for Chickillo, would probably, be ahead of, I would put him ahead of both Ola and Skipper on the depth chart, being a 3rd round pick.
And be the man in waiting for next year.
The man in waiting. If this is it for Dupree. I've been saying that about edge rusher for a long time. You have agreed with me to say that you think the Steelers would go edge rusher early.
I've thought it all along. Yeah, and we both have.
Yeah. So
a walk-on at Charlotte.
I don't know much about him because he went to Charlotte. You know what I mean?
He was a walk-on at Charlotte.
Yeah, but
14 sacks, likely the number 3 outside linebacker this season.
That's
what Lawley is saying. Potentially a starter in 2021. And KDKA is breaking it. So let's call it, Dave.
How do I say this? With that, no, I probably shouldn't say it. You know how there's Pittsburgh Steelers fans like their TJ Watt, and they like their Kevin Green, and how they like their edge rushers. Well, this guy fits the mold of the same kind of thing. So we have a question about when are they going to take a defensive tackle. You have good defensive tackles to play that you can get later. They're now officially going to announce it with Roger Goodell. I want to see where CBS had him. So there's the music. Do, 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 do. 102. The Pittsburgh Steelers select.
I actually turned it up a little. I hope that's not distracting, but
oh no. It is Alex Highsmith. Now, it's funny because Anye, CBS had at 93. They have Highsmith at 140 is where they had Highsmith on CBS. So I don't know where he was other places.
Well, we've seen inflated sack numbers before. Sutton Smith.
Yes. I hope it's not another Sutton Smith situation.
Well, you're taking Sutton Smith at 6 last year, and look at this little fellow.
Yeah. I can't see it.
It's great. I'm not sure whose family it is, but one kid's passed out on the couch, the other kid's dancing, and then they just put their dog in front. So you know what?
Hold on a second. Go ahead.
Well, Goodell's announcing it for me.
Oh, well, you're way behind me. So talking needs to get stronger. He's 6'3", 248. Yeah.
Oh, he's partying. He's loving it. Ooh, good looking girlfriend there.
Well, it's funny because this is a pick that some people like, some people hate, because you know why? It's not the flashy name. Once again, it's not the flashy name that you would expect.
Well, here's the thing.
They say he's ecstatic based on them on the TV going crazy.
Okay, so we have people in the live chat not loving it, but here's the thing about it. I don't know anybody on the live chat, and I don't have a scouting department. Mm-hmm. And I might have never heard of him, but I'm not paid to go look for this guy. So obviously they feel he's worthy of a 3rd round pick.
Yes.
I'm watching him here against Clemson. Looks like he's going to rush the passer on this one.
Yeah, this to me feels like last year with Deontay Johnson, where because he was from a smaller school, I felt like I didn't know. I knew there was a wide receiver from Toledo, but I didn't even remember his name. I had seen that there was an outside linebacker from Charlotte in some of my mock drafts where I could have taken him, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go with a smaller school guy, so I didn't. But if the Steelers like it, there's something they must see. I feel like you with the last pick. You didn't want to give the thumbs up or the thumbs down for Claypool.
I didn't see anything yet. I mean,
yeah,
I just wanted
this one's really tough to judge. It really is.
So I'm going to look at some stuff when I get off here, but I like what I just saw on the screen. But here's the thing: we've got people saying so far the Steelers are reaching. We have people saying that F grade. We have people also saying that they could have got him in the 4th. You can't. Because if we would have taken Tanner Muse here and he was available, people would have
run fit. And Tanner Muse had a fit. 2 picks ahead of him.
you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you pick a guy that you value and you take him and you trust in the organization.
It's funny. Lance asked the question, what's the narrative? I think we've already said it. I don't know about the narrative about the position taken is all about you need that depth at outside linebacker. You only had 4 on the roster and you kept 5 to start last year. So you're not even bumping somebody off the roster that's on the team right now. And I think he's your Chickalo replacement. He's going to have to play teams. He's going to work into the rotation. He's going to get snaps. There's going to be 200 to 300 snaps available to him if he earns them over Ola and Skipper. And that's even with a healthy Dupree and Watt. And if he does well enough, then we're going to say bye to Bud Dupree. That's just going to be how it is.
Because Bud's not coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy looks like he's got a motor. I can't wait to, when I get off here, I'm going to read up on him, going to write about him. I've got to do my knee-jerk reaction on him.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to do. But my knee-jerk action right away is, wow, 21 quarterback hurries or tackles for loss is probably sexy.
I'm going to say he's probably an upgrade over Chickalo. Jesse George just said that there. Said better than Chickalo. I would say that would probably be an upgrade over what they lost.
So I am getting excited, Robert, about a player that I don't know because I'm watching him on a screen right here, and it gives me a chance to think, all right, if he could do that, then he's going to be a pretty good player. And these guys scout. Kevin Colbert's been around a long time. Jared Neville right there.
I trust Colbert.
So
if it would have been a corner, maybe not so much. But yeah, last question before we get off here, because Jeff and Lance are going to be rolling on here as soon as we can get off because they can't set theirs up until we're done. What do you, with the Steelers with 2 picks not long from now, tomorrow when the draft picks back up at noon, what do you see with those 2 picks?
I'm seeing an offensive lineman.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Write it down. I mean, you're going to get a decent offensive lineman in the 4th round. You might get 2. Or I'm also thinking safety at this point.
I'm leaning a little bit more towards that it could be we got another trade. The Saints keep trading in all these different picks. So I wouldn't be surprised if the right defensive lineman was there.
Yeah, that's true.
Or a safety or an inside linebacker. I think you're going to get an offensive lineman and a defensive player as your next 2 picks. That's just my opinion. And if they don't, if they don't take a defensive lineman there, I think they'll get one late, meaning more of a nose tackle type. And if they don't, then I think they're going to be happy with the more athletic, so many Steeler fans are calling for that Casey Hampton type nose tackle. Well, that's not what Javon Hargrave even was.
Yeah, but that's when they talked about Madubuike from that's now in Baltimore.
Yeah,
it's not a nose tackle anymore. It's a defensive tackle that plays like a defensive end.
Yes. Yep.
So, and Edwin Laws says
that's one of the guys I like.
Perfect.
That's one of the guys I like.
Let's hope Leke. I like that. I like Fotu.
Yeah. So.
All right, we will talk to you guys later.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Jeff and Lance are going to be back to break it down a little bit more. Tomorrow, we're going to see about various times coming on. If people like doing this during the pick, we might have to just do that. And we'll be back in a few minutes for the full breakdown. Make sure you tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe. Thanks for joining me, Bryan.
Thank you. Bye now.